Hey guys, it is Leo here back with another video, and today we're going to be showcasing KnightusAIO, a program that I developed and made with ChatGPT. And before we get into a deep dive on the tutorial, I want to kind of elaborate on my story, why I created this, is just pretty much all of the details on the process of making this program, what it does, and then we'll move forward to how to install it, and then showcasing all the many features that we have. So let's get right into it. So KnightusAIO. What is KnightusAIO? KnightusAIO is a all-in-one tracker, hence the name AIO, where it tracks your money flow, your shop sales, your shop purchases, and then of course your money tracker. So whenever you mine or you go make some money, it tracks how much money you make for your session. So it's really cool. You can see on the screen right now that I made 1.5 million in the span of 10 hours. Yes, it is possible. I play a lot. But why did I make this program? What inspired it? And so forth. Well, I reached out to Picky because I noticed that he had a money tracker. Picky is another content creator on the Blossomcraft server, and I noticed that on his screen, he always had how much money he made during his session. I thought that was sick. So I reached out to him and I was like, okay, how'd you get this? And he mentioned that it was a player named LMZ created that program. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Tried to look on Discord, couldn't find where he was getting this program. Now I could have simply messaged LMZ, but I decided to ask ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, how did he make this program? Turns out Minecraft has a log watcher, so I can actually pull it up really quickly. So everything that happens in your chat, guys, everything that happens in your chat actually shows up in a log file. A log file is like a text file, and you can do so much with this. So you can actually read chat right now as it's going. But yeah, with that information, you're able to translate that into a program and do so much with it. And I pretty much fell down this rabbit hole of creating my first iteration of a log watcher, and then realizing how much more potential could come out of this. So yes, the initial idea was inspired by LMZ, so shout out to him. But then it just kind of went on to be something so much more. I started this project last weekend, and I was on a streak. Like I stayed up around like roughly 50 hours in one go. In between there, I did take like a 3-hour nap, continued it, and I was not prepared on how invested I was going to be on this program. And I really did fall in love with it. I was each time I went back to Blossomcraft, back to my streams, I was like, oh, another idea. And then people were giving me ideas, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so I put a lot of time into this, and I do want to mention in the header here, it says powered by ChatGPT 5. Yes, I did use ChatGPT for the code because I don't have any coding experience. This program was created using Python. I don't have any sort of computer science degree or anything like that, but I wanted to create something quick, something that I could personally use first, and then now we're eventually we distributed it, and I'm very, very happy with how this program turned out. Now there's probably a lot of questions, and I'm going to try my best to answer them all in this video. But that's pretty much the backstory behind KnightusAIO, the inspiration behind it, and the process. I pretty much only scratched the surface, but I don't want to keep you guys here all day. So yes, that's pretty much how it works. A log watcher that does so much more. So now to dive into how to get this program. Well, you'll have to join our Discord, which will be in the link in the bio. And then there is going to be, let me just actually take a look here. So let's turn pop off so we can do this. So if you actually join the Knighttus Discord here, let me bring this to the side. You can actually just scroll down and then go into KnightusAIO, our pin message, and it will have the setup and the font file. You'll need this font file. You simply just download it and then install the font first, and then run the setup like how you would for any game, and then just keep the default location as the same. It should stay under app data. just because I think I tried to install it outside of the app data folder and it just didn't work properly. I could be wrong though. I could honestly be wrong there, but I always just kept it in app data just because your log file is naturally in app data. So correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah, that's how you install it and that's how you get the program. So it is already widely available on my Discord. Let's put this tab back. And after you install it, you will be greeted with this page or this program. And so KnightusAIO powered by ChatGPT 5, there is a donation button there that, you know, if you do end up donating and you do end up giving me money for this, thank you very, very much. It is not needed. This is going to be a completely free program. Donating will go towards my streams, but if you guys want the money to be put towards the program and the time investment into it, just if you do end up donating, just write AIO or KnightusAIO so I know and I can categorize those funds and just pretty much reinvest back into the program. So they will be greeted with this page. Now, first things first, this is going to be the hardest part. It's going to be attaching your log file to the program itself so it's able to start reading, and everything's going to be seamless after that. So you can actually change and then scan for the location. Now, before doing that, ensure, well, I'm using the vanilla launcher. So it's as simple as typing in run into your Windows taskbar, click run. Then you do %app data, like how it is at the bottom left there. And then it will pop up your folder where it contains Minecraft. Now, I'm using the vanilla launcher. It's going to be different if you're using Prism, if you're using Forge, or whatever launcher you are, but you will have to source that log file. That's going to be completely up to you. But for anybody who's using the vanilla launcher, it's going to be as simple as doing run app data and then finding the Minecraft folder, opening that up, and then you hit logs. Scroll all the way down, it'll be the latest one. So do what you will with that information. Now, there was an issue that I was bumping into where the Minecraft launcher wasn't actually writing anything in the text file here. This one it is. I fixed it, but you do have to if let's say it's not writing or anything in your log file, you will have to go into your launcher and then enable the Minecraft game output. So it's this here, and you can see my game chat going off on this log kind of UI here that was built into the Minecraft vanilla launcher. So again, up to you. But that is going to be essentially the hardest part about this program, just pretty much sourcing your log file and then going from there. So yeah, now that we've gotten over the setup, installation, and all that, now let's get into what this program does and why you want this. So let's see here. Actually, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to do this because my webcam is kind of blocking the screen here. Also, this video is not scripted at all. So first things first, when we're greeted with the program, there's a couple buttons at the top here. Let me show you what they do. So there is a user time, or actually let's start from the beginning. Start. What does start do? It is pretty much a hourly tracking. So if you click start, it starts a hourly session. So for players who like to track their money per hour, this is going to be a great way to track that. You know, all you need to do is just press start, go mining, go do whatever you want, mushy farm, and then it'll automatically stop with a sound to let you know that the hour is up. And then it'll log it right here. So we click stop. That is our third log. You can see I made $0 because I didn't do anything. So that's actually really, really cool. We did actually do a 1 hour duration on stream today earlier. And we made 178,000. That was me testing out the gauntlet in the new like buff nerf thing. So you can see it works just fine and it works really, really good. Yeah. Moving forward. Next is going to be a Gorb timer. Pretty straightforward. We all know that it's going to be a 4-minute timer for the Gorb. Press stat, and it starts the Gorb timer. Now that's actually very a basic way to explain it because there is a setting here in our shortcuts that allow you to toggle or activate these different timers to toggle the HUD, all these different things under settings and then shortcuts. So it's natively set at Control G. I kept it at that because I like that. It's very, very simple. It's very easy to remember. Control G. It doesn't interfere with your Minecraft. Also, one thing to mention is you want to enable global hotkeys. Otherwise, it's going to just not work properly while you're playing Minecraft. It's so you want to make sure this is enabled. And I would suggest keeping your timer set at Control G, though you can set it to something else. I just would suggest doing a key combination. It's just my personal preference, though. But yeah. That is the Gorb timer. Next up, there is going to be user timer. So this is something that is it's naturally set at 1 minute, but you actually can customize this under settings, and then you go to timer settings. You can actually change this user timer. So if you wanted to set something that each time you or exposure or something like that, because those have a really long cooldown, or if there's an item in the game that you want to keep track of the cooldown, it's really long, this is a great way to keep track of that. So this is kind of like a versatile timer that you can use. It's just something that I wanted to add on, and if people wanted more, then it'd be super easy to just continuously make more and more. And then you can see next, you might be wondering, okay, why does it say auto here? This should be right next to Gorb, but auto, what that means is each time that I Gorb, it actually automatically restarts the timer for me. So that might be confusing. So let me actually show you how that works here. So we have our HUD on the side, which you can actually activate by pressing the HUD button over here. I guess we can just quickly go over these two. Top on means that when you have top on, it's pretty much always stays on top. You can actually turn that off, so you're able to, actually play the game. And if you have a sorry, it's my notification tracker is popping off, but yeah, if you have a second monitor, I'd advise you to just put the program on the second monitor so you can kind of keep tabs of it, or you can just do what I did here. So how does the auto fire Gorb timer work? Well, let's go ahead and bring out the Gorb, tap, and break. A chime pops off, and that also lets me know that my Gorb is now activated. So you can see on the screen over here, my Gorb is at 3 minutes or it just started the timer essentially. How does this work now? Well, it is a log tracker. And as you can see here, when I Gorbed, I made $1,954. I have it set so each time that you make a certain amount, it will reactivate that timer. Now, let's say you made like over the threshold and your timer is still going. It doesn't restart the timer. So it doesn't override it or anything like that. It only starts it. So, and of course, the Gorb itself, when that timer is up, it will give you a chime, whatever sound that you want to set, which I can show you here. Let's put the HUD to the side, or maybe over here so you guys can see it. You can actually set the sounds for a lot of different things here. Gorb alert to alert us for when our Gorb timer is up. Hourly end, so we can actually test it. That's my Gorb alert. That's my hourly end sound. We got big win. Sorry, I am just getting a bunch of sales right now and it's kind of interrupting the video. I apologize about that if that's annoying you. Of course, it's a purchase. That's if somebody ends up buying something from my store. This one is if somebody sells me something in the store, money in. That's when somebody sends me money in game, and money out is when I send money out to somebody else. So you can actually play around with this and you can change every single one. But let's go back to where we left off here. So the Gorb auto start is actually toggleable. So if you don't actually want that, you can turn it off. And again, it can only activate when you make a certain threshold. So I have it set to $1,100. My Gorb timer is still going off right now, so I can't do another example. But I have it set to $1,100 or $1,200. And one really important factor to make this all work is ensure that you have jobs toggle chat text on. You just leave it like that, press enter. And that will allow you to see how much you're making, like how I am in chat. And that's how this program is going to pretty much read all your earnings and how much you make per hour and all that stuff. So if you guys are like a very social player, unfortunately, you will be seeing a lot of those numbers flying on your screen. So that's why I wanted to focus my program more outside of that, and we implemented a lot more features, which we'll get into. But yeah, again, before anything, ensure you have jobs, toggle chat text on, go mining, make sure that the program works before you start adjusting your settings and everything like that. I hope I'm making this video okay. Again, it's not scripted or anything. So yeah, that's pretty much the auto Gorb fire. And then yeah, you can disable auto start, which is I don't want to disable it. I love this feature. Then you can set the threshold, so mine's set to 1100. You can set it a little bit higher. And one thing to note for the auto Gorb fire is you have to be able to actually one-shot the Gorb tab. So something like the Blossom Staff or the new Gauntlet, those will be able to one-shot it, which makes it makes you earn over 1100 most of the time. Or let's say you're under level 100 or significantly under level 100, then you're probably going to want to set this a little bit lower. But yeah, again, it's just based on the user. I can only speak on for myself. And so yeah, this now brings us to more. So what do we have here? So we went over the disable auto start Gorb. So if you don't want to automate the timer, which it just popped off right now, let's go ahead and let's Gorb, and then I'll use the Sunbloom pick, break that, and that's when it starts the timer. There's one other thing, that sound that you're hearing, that ring, that's a big win sound. You can actually just disable that by going to settings and going to big win alert. What a big win is pretty much it detects if you make over a certain amount that you don't typically make, which you can set whatever you want to. I set it to 1,000, so it'll alert me like, oh, I just made $1,000 from mining. That means I hit a really good vein of ore. I set it to 1,000. I think it's natively at 500. If you don't want to use this program and then you find it annoying, just set it to like something crazy like 5,000 or 10,000, 200,000, whatever. But yeah, I like it. It's a very gimmicky feature, but I really do enjoy it. Let me have some water here. All right. So yeah, I think, and then next up, we have price learning for scans, price learning for player warps, which we'll get into when we start diving a little bit deeper. I have it on, but I typically should probably turn it off now that I have it all set up. Open logs, and scan for logs. This is if you're still having issues with your log file, you can try to scan for it and then open it here, but also you can do it at the bottom, up to you. Sounds, HUD transparency. So when you activate the HUD, you can actually make it really transparent. Excuse me. Like that. But I don't know why anybody would do that. I like having it around like 70%, 80%. And just to the point where I can kind of see through it, but you know, the numbers aren't invisible, pretty much. What else do we have here? We have HUD layout. This one is pretty important because some people were complaining that it was, oh, the HUD is too cluttered, the HUD is too big. Well, first things first, you can actually adjust it, guys. So you can actually change the size of it, first things first. Next up, you can actually change the layout. So if you feel like it's too cluttered, you can actually remove pretty much everything. So you can, for slot 1, 2, and 3, these are referring to the buttons on top. We only have 3 buttons: start, stop hourly, Gorb, and then user timer. Yeah, those are the 3, or none, which I set my 3rd slot as none because I don't use the user timer. And then you can also show your money. You can show your EXP. I have mine toggled off. I'll activate it now. Now you can see the EXP. I have to bring it out a little bit, but I have EXP off because I am already level 200 in most jobs. There's no point in me seeing how much EXP I'm making if I'm not even leveling up in the first place. But maybe if Legion introduces like level, let's say 200, then or not 200, something higher than 200, then this will be useful again. But for now, I'm not using it. I have Gorb. So the Gorb timer itself, custom timer, I have that set turned off too because I don't really use a custom timer. Last message, so you can see the last message that was sent through your log. So either it goes Gorb timer or your money. I just have that on, though I don't really look at it that much. Hourly progress when active. So when you start your hourly timer, it'll actually tell you the rate of money per hour that you're making on that HUD. It's just a lot of like playing around with, guys. But it is pretty straightforward with the HUD layout. You just activate some things, turn off some things, see what you like, see what you don't like. I don't like the EXP, I don't like the custom timer, and I don't want my slot 3 to be the custom timer, so I'll do that. And it keeps it pretty nice, compact, pretty clean, and again, I think it's a pretty moderate size for me personally. I like it a lot. But that is pretty much the HUD. Moving forward, so this is our active hourly session. Let's dive into this. This is the log. So when you start and then stop, it'll make the log of it. Again, it'll auto stop after an hour. And then when you are mining and whatnot. So actually, let's start the hourly timer here. And then if we start mining, we can do a Gorb tap because our it sounds like it just came off cooldown here. But you can see that is going up. So you can see the rate of money per hour. It's saying I'm going to make 600,000, but that's going to level out as soon as you start going deeper into the hour, of course. Yeah. As soon as you start, 5, 10, 15 minutes, it starts leveling out and it starts being more accurate. But it's pretty cool. I love the hourly timer, and it's going to help me with a lot of future videos. And again, this is a program that I wanted to utilize first. And then if you guys think that you guys can utilize it too, then this is a program that's free for y'all. And it's been such a joy to create this with no coding experience and just using ChatGPT. It was a headache at times, but the process, it was so worth it. It was so worth it. But moving forward, that was the active hourly session. Let's move into the shops now. So it is separated by two here. We have shop purchases and shop sales. Purchases, I realized I should have flipped these words. Purchases means that people buy from you. And then sales is if you have like a buy shop and somebody decides to sell to you. So it's kind of confusing in that way, but it does log everything in a 12-hour format and how much quantity, the price, everything. It works so well. Purchases, at least. For sales, if you are a PW owner who is I guess buying like ore, like for example how I do at Ore Room, it does require a little bit more setup, and that's where we go back to price learning. Let me turn down the volume here. I don't even think I'm going to edit this video. I'm just going to upload it as is. Screw it. So that's where you want to turn price learning scans on, because what it does is, let's say you have a shop and you want the program. So let's say somebody sells you something, right? So it only says, the log only says Booster Juice sold 1 raw gold to you. It doesn't give you the item amount. Whereas if you actually if somebody buys something from you, for example, it actually tells you the name and it tells you the money. So, but it doesn't say the money when somebody sells something to you. How did we combat that issue? Well, first things first, you can actually manage your buy prices. And this is the entire list of Ore Room at its price. Now you must be looking at it and you're like, Leo, you set every single price. That's so tedious. You can. So let's say block of raw gold, and then you set the price of it, and then you click add or updates. That would update it, but of course I wouldn't want to. That's where our feature for the price learning scans is going to go into effect. And how it works is, all you need to simply do after you set up your buy shop is you just punch it, so then it shows the shop information. What it does is it teaches the program what the price is and what the item is. So as soon as you punch it, it should auto update into your shop sales, manage buy prices, and it will update it here. Yeah, so that's pretty much how the PW owner shop sales works. Again, purchases is very straightforward, but the sales is has a bit more of a process, but once you learn it, it's actually very straightforward. It's super easy. And I think that pretty much highlights the shop sales and purchases. Lastly, the feature that we have is, I think this could be really useful for people who have like rental services or have a lot of money flow where people actually pay them and stuff like that, and you want to keep a log of that. That's how money flow is going to work. There's money in and money out. I can actually pay Booster Juice 1. The sound kind of overrides each other because I mean I'm sending money and I'm receiving money from myself, but you can see it right at the bottom here. Money in, I received $1 from LeooKnightus, the time as well, and then money out, same thing. You know, $1 out to LeooKnightus and the time. And I think, wow, I think that goes over the entire program. This was a 25-minute video. I don't know how else I would have made this, but I think that that concludes it, guys. And again, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, let me know in the comment section down below. Join our Discord, join our discussion. Let me know how you're liking the program. If you did get it to work and you guys are enjoying it, please let me know. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content and more updates towards KnightusAIO. Again, it took so much time and so much effort to make this program, and you might be thinking, okay, Leo, you're releasing a program, what is in it for you? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I just wanted to give you guys something, and I just wanted to show my passion for the game. And also, it just goes to show that, you know, when you truly are passionate about something, you can achieve the things that might seem impossible. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.